No, I don't think there's any such thing as an international populist movement. We just simply have to differentiate between different types of politics. And it's a puzzle to me why we find it so difficult to say things like right-wing nationalism or left-wing radicalism. Clearly, somebody like Steve Bannon is trying to articulate a right-wing nationalist front in Europe right now. To dignify it with the label populist, I think, is simply misleading. I mean, that's what he's trying to do. He sees conservative nationalist allies in various different political systems in Europe and is actively trying to organise and articulate them as a single common front against what he sees as liberalism and the kind of centrist liberalism, which in his view, of course, is inflected with socialist elements and to be resisted. So there are elements of conservatism, of more conventional conservatism, that can be mobilised there too. On the left, to their detriment, the efforts at organisation are much less effective so far. But on the left as well, you could see an alignment between Syriza and Podemos. And part of the antagonism, part of the viciousness of the fight over the Greek debt in 2015 was certainly that the Spanish, for instance, and the Portuguese did not want to see, who were governed by conservative parties at the time, did not want to see concessions being made to a left-wing government in Greece, because that could only encourage their voters to vote for left-wing parties in Portugal and Spain. So an optic which still insists on the old division between left and right is far more useful, I think, than a term like populism, which is populism is really a category forged by desperate centrists to describe people that they find difficult to deal with and to anathematize them by describing them as anti-democratic and to anathematize them by aligning the left and the right in the same group, which discredits both of them. If one takes either the left or the right seriously, I think you have to actually treat them as separate political forces, each in their own way feeding off their own particular types of resentment, their own particular types of political energy, and in some cases, their own very real issues.